Why do you reduce risk?
I do it so that I can go home to my family and have a productive day. Packages are important, but my my health and well-being is more important. So
okay, that's good.
Keep steady.
Okay, and how do you go about doing that?
Keeping aware, keeping focused, planning from trip to trip so that I'm watching the road and keeping the packages nearby.
When I'm delivering my businesses on the highway, I try to signal my turn far in advance so people have time to get over safely. That way they aren't on my rear end trying to almost ram into my bumper. Yeah. So I try to give them adequate time to adjust to their conditions as I'm making the turn safely.
I utilize ergonomics and stretching. You do things such as stretching out my limbs and stuff. As I sit in the office quite a bit, I also do the 20-20-20 rule when looking at a monitor. That is, if you look at a monitor for more than 20 minutes, you should look away for 20 seconds, at least 20 feet away. And I do this so that I can go home and be with my family to prevent the injury so I can interact with them.
Very good.
Reducing risk at work. I try to get the proper tooling for the job. I try to be aware of my surroundings, especially with people working around me. If I have something unsafe, I try to utilize the equipment and the personnel that I have here to benefit me and my coworkers by working safely and using them.
And why do you do that?
For a personal point, I want to retire out of here and have a healthy body.
Reduce risk is to put on your four-way flashers when you pull in to make a stop to let everyone behind you know that you're making a stop, especially in one of these rental trucks, because they don't know we're going to be making deliveries. So we got to be extra cautious around the apartment buildings.
Does it help you personally?
Yeah, it helps me keep my job. That's all me a good thing. You know, I can keep delivering UPS and keep working.
I use facilities and equipment to aid in a lift lower. We don't get quite the workout that our drivers do when they're out delivering every day, so every lift lower is a potential injury. Using the 8 keys of lifting and lowering on every lift lower attempt.
Clearing an intersection, I always look left, right, left again, because I've had it where people drive right past my truck. They don't think twice about, oh, the guy might be crossing the street, so they just drive however fast they want through the neighborhood. So I always check again before just walking into the street.
By staying away from each other.
Pretty much. You don't ever expect it to happen.
Doesn't matter whether you're a supervisor or whether you're a driver.
You know, we've been around for a while. Whatever you might expect, we've probably already seen it. How I reduce risk is just kind of always think about, I mean, it's already happened to me, or I've seen somebody else do it. So I just don't want it to happen again. I mean, I've slipped on a slide years ago before we couldn't walk on them. I've rolled off a belt that was rolling before we could do that. I had my hair pulled going underneath the belt. I had stuff fall on my eye from closing overhead doors years ago. Don't look up from them anymore. Tell people not to do that.
Well, in general, how you reduce work is you take the time to stop and get an idea of your situation. You factor in all of your risks. And why I do it, I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to have an accident, and I want to be able to walk home after the job's done.
What I like to do to reduce risks, man, I like to work safely, slowly. I like to scan what's new in the area, because we're so used to doing the same thing every day. Take it slow, work with the right methods, and I do that so I can go home, cook up a nice burger on the grill.
Why do you feel it's important that you reduce risk at work?
Personally, it hurts if it's an injury, and it sucks being hurt. I don't like pain. I try to avoid pain and paperwork. I think ultimately it's very personal, and I try to get people to think about that as well. It's personal. I mean, yeah, it's a business thing, but it's really personal.